Hi guys, welcome to lesson 3, our last one before you go off for your Christmas break. Today we're going to work on some ratio questions, relatively simple. I'm going to go through like 3 key things. First off, I'm going to give you some questions just on sharing in a ratio. That's something we can do, so you're just going to practice that. I'm going to pause the video, have a go. Then I'm going to have a look at kind of 2 of the key like tricks or additions they're going to put in that might trick you occasionally, and might try and catch you out. And then we're going to go through the exam question as well that was on paper 1. There's a ratio question that some of us dropped some marks on, so I will do that at the very end. You'll then have a pack of work like the last couple of days to do and submit. It's really important for me today that you're working really hard. Last day I know, but we want to get this ratio stuff done. It's recall, it's nothing too strenuous, but it is going to be really useful, and there's always loads of marks for ratio, so it's an important skill for us. Lastly as well, just before I start, there will be homework set on Harriott for you over the Christmas break, okay? So do watch out for that, and I'll make it really clear in the lesson today what that is, okay? So I'll post as well on Teams about that. But just so you're aware, there will be Harriott. Right, first off, I'm going to put some questions on the board that are just sharing in a given ratio, and I'd like you to have a go, please. So your questions are there. So pause it, have a go. Key thing here, if you need a little bit of help, is I'm going to be doing boxes if I'm stuck. Your answers go on the board now for you, and you can mark your work. So pause it if you need to. Great. Now I'm going to get started. Just while I clean this off. This question is the first of our key tricks. So have a read of that question, obviously, but there's a key thing from here. George and Karen share some money in the ratio of 5 to 3. George gets £26 more than Karen. How much money did Karen get? Key thing here. Key thing is this more than, okay? It tells us that I want to know how much more. I'm told how much more George gets than Karen. Same process as always, I'm going to make sure I've got boxes, okay? If you don't need boxes for this, that's absolutely fine, but I will always draw them because it means I get the question right every single time. So this is 5 to 3, that's George and Karen, okay? And I'm told that George gets £26 more than Karen. Now, if George has 5 parts and Karen has 3, that means that 2 of the boxes must be worth £26. The way I know that is these 2 boxes are more than the ones that Karen has. So £26 is split across 2 boxes, which means that 13 goes in each box. Once I've got to that point, I can finish off the question. How much money did Karen get? This is the piece of information I'm trying to find. So I need to do 13 times by 3, okay? 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times by 1 is 3, 39. So lastly, I can just say Karen gets £39. Easy, okay? The more than questions, the other thing I might do, they might give you how much less Karen gets. Same process, okay? How much less Karen gets is exactly the same process. We're going to make sure we're looking for that excess bit and splitting across those boxes. All we're doing here is not splitting it across all of the boxes, it's across some specific boxes. So you'll have some questions like that on your worksheets in a second. I'm going to rub this off, and then I'm going to go through one more key trick before I look at that exam question. So one more trick, or one thing they add in to make it a little bit more difficult. This is a relatively simple example, but they can do a variety of different ones which have this involved. But I'm going to have a look at this one. Frank gets paid £1,300 or £1,300 a month. They spend 2/5 of their wages on rent. They then spend the rest on food, clothes and leisure in the ratio 1 to 4 to 7. How much money do they spend on clothes? Okay, first off I've got £1,300 of rent, okay, a month. That's my total. I'm told they spend 2/5 of their wages on rent. So I want to find out how much that is. I need to multiply this then by 2/5, okay? That is the same as 1,300 divided by 5 times by 2, okay? So I'm going to set up my short division. 1,300 divided by 5. 5's going to 1 0 times, so I'm going to carry it. 5's into 13, go 2, remainder 3. 5's into 30, go 6, there's no remainder, so it's nothing there. Okay, so 260, right? 260. So that means I need to do 260 times by 2 to get what is spent on rent. That gives me £520 is spent on rent. Okay, so I've got a total of 1,300. I've got rent is £520. I know they split the rest in this ratio. Okay, they split the rest in this ratio, so I need to know how much the rest is. Okay. So I'm going to subtract these. 1,300 minus 520. That's 0. I'm going to count from there. 10 take away 2 is 8. And then I've got 2 here. 2 take away 5 doesn't work, so I'm going to carry. 12 take away 5 gives me 780. That's my rest. Key thing here, I've got my ratio. Okay, I've got 1 to 4 to 7. To 7. Okay, and that's food to clothes to leisure. And I need to split 780 across here. 780 goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Last thing, just to make out what goes in each box, I need to do 12s into 780. There's a lot of division in this, we need to be really clear on our division. 12s into 7 goes 0. 12s into 78, okay, will go 6, and that's remainder 6, okay, because 12 times by 6 is 72. 12s into 60 go 5. Okay, so I've got 65. I'm going to put 65 in every single box. Now, I want to return to my question and just double check what I'm being asked. How much money do they spend on clothes? I'm after this bit. So I want to do 65 times by 4. Okay, can do my multiplication. 5 times by 4 is 20. 4 times by 6 gives me 24. Plus 2 gives me 26. Okay, £260 is my final answer. Okay, they spend £260 on clothes. Sorted. Okay. The trick here, the thing that's more difficult is they've just shoved in a fraction that you need to deal with, okay? That is not something we're going to struggle with. We're good at dealing with fractions. We're going to be able to do that nice and easily, okay? So if they shove a fraction, shove a percentage in there, deal with that if you need to, but also then apply a ratio how we know. We'd like to see boxes every time for the ratios, because it means we're going to get them right every time. One more to have a look at, okay? I'm just going to clean this board, and it's going to be the question that was on the exam paper on paper 1, okay? Talking about pens in pen packages. I'm going to go through that question for you, make it really clear how that question is answered. Most of us got 2 marks on that question, but did not get the final 4. And that is for one key reason. Okay, so we're going to have a look at this together. This was the question. So I'll give you a second to read it. So, if I have the packs, which is from here, is 7, and that's black to red to green, is 7 to 3 to 4. This is what most people realise. If I've got 7 packs of black pens, I need to know how many pens are in those packs. 7 packs, there's 2 pens in each pack, that's what I'm told here. So I'm going to times this by 2 and get 14. Okay. Now, because there's different numbers in each pack, I need to make sure that I've got different numbers of pens in each. I've accounted for that. 5 pens in each pack of red pens. Okay, so this one I'm going to be timesing by 5. 15. 6 pens in each of the green packs. So I'm going to times this one by 6, and I get 24. 14 to 15 to 24 is my ratio. Key thing here now, and that's my 2 marks, right? That's my 2 marks. A total of 212 pens were sold. So I need to do something to this ratio to work out how to get to this point. A really nice step is to do as follows. 14 plus 15 plus 24, let's work out how many pens that is. 14 plus 15 is 29, plus 24 gives me 53 pens, okay? 53 pens. So if I've got this ratio, 14 to 15 to 24, I want to think what I can do to this ratio. So my total is 212. The total is currently 53, so let's find out what I need to do. How many 53s will go into 212? 53 into 2 here doesn't work. 53 into 20 doesn't work. 53 into 212. This is where it's a little bit more difficult when you're doing short division, but I can start chunking this. 50s into 200 go 4, okay? 3 times by 4 gives me 12, so my answer there will just be 4. So if I times this entire ratio by 4, I will be left with a total of 212 by definition. 14 into times by 4 is 40 plus 16, so 56. 15 times by 4 is 40 plus 20, so 60. 24 times by 4 is 96. I need to revisit my question. Number of green pens sold, okay? Blue to red to green, so this is my key figure. So 96 green pens. 96 green pens were sold. Perfect, okay? Easy as that. Once we've got to that point, finished, all sorted. This is a kind of harder question really that you'll get because there's a couple of stages to it. Have a look at the work pack on there, please. Any questions, let me know. As always, I will always try and help. Just say on the group. And I hope, as I probably won't see you before the holidays, have a lovely break. Please make sure you're doing your homework. If you need anything, as always, just drop me an email or say something on Teams and I'll try and pick it up. But yeah, have a nice break. Enjoy time with family. Keep yourself safe. And I'll see you in January.